Someone just hold me up. I don't really care who.
I feel like everybody's gonna start passing out soon with the way the city's going right now.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think some people are bleeding out over here.
Probably.
Oh wait, where is it?
Second floor, I assume.
Oh, gotcha.
You can see now well my
Sorry. No, she's talking about like
you can see why I play late night Tarkov now, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably go do that in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to sleep. I'm fucking tired. I feel like I've done 3 cases today.
Yeah.
Be the 3rd one.
So make a right out of here and then make a left.
Over here?
No.
PD, I'm up.
Go
like
through.
the.
Go through the.
Yeah.
Thing.
Back in the day, you could go to a train and you could say, like, now the trains are like, at this time this happens, at this time this happens. But back in the day, the way that it would work is like you would go to the train station and then
You're a real son of a bitch. Stop.
And then
You carry a spray bottle now?
you'd go to the train station and then like fucking
that makes sense.
You know,
for him, for Osvaldo, for
you would say, hey,
I think there's people. I think I saw
you would
someone
call
cosplaying
the
a cat
train
the other day
to a
as well,
location,
so, yeah, I might actually start
and then the
carrying a
train
spray
would
bottle.
come and you get on the train and it would
No,
bring you
Mr.
to the
Binns is
stop that
actually
you
cat.
want. Yeah.
No, I think I saw someone cosplaying a cat the other day.
No, Mr. Bittens is actually cat.
Wasn't them.
Wasn't them? Oh.
Nope.
Oh. I don't know. I usually don't judge people, even though it's my job. Or profile people. I don't profile people. I will profile furries, though. Did that video link? Oh, sorry. I have to file it all through the docket. Sorry. Dumb.
Hey, no, you heard about the arena shit, by the way?
The drops?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a tab open on my phone the entire time.
Hell yeah, me too.
I don't know if they're any good though.
GP coins, man. Worth it for the GP coins for ref.
Oh, I started doing that.
Yeah. Worth it for the GP coins. You get the
Oh, my Intel Center's done today, which means my Bitcoin can start going.
Oh no, have you got loads of graphics cards?
Yeah. Guess phones are working again.
I know how to get them pretty easily.
Oh, nice.
Pull out my phone.
You know Tagilla's place under interchange?
I told you about that.
Food. Does anyone have any food?
I don't think so. No, I told you. We talked about
I
it.
told you about Tagilla's place under
No,
interchange.
I saw it on YouTube. Or maybe you did, but I didn't process it. Maybe.
Yeah, I was
know.
like, you said you needed intel, and I was like, yeah, what you should do is you go to the Giller's place under interchange, and it's in the boxes that are tipped over.
Oh, you may have, but at the time that was just like blah 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 blah, because like I didn't know what Tagilla's place was, you know.
Yeah,
it was like talking, using words that I didn't know.
gonna take a quick 5.
Sparks, mind you, I'm throwing a sushi roll at you. Ready to catch?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw.
Sure.
You wanted food. I'm gonna throw a sushi roll at you. You ready?
Can I just hand it, please?
Come on. I still want to get down. You a drink too?
Yes, please. Thank you. I'll make sure to pay you back.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry.
Do you need me to file this on the docket?
No, I just follow what's been usually a common status quo.
No, I just hate that we can't have conversations over the phone or in person about shit. I think it's dumb as fuck.
Wait, is that a thing now?
So they filed a motion to produce for a video, and I'm like, you could have just called me, and apparently that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to only do it through the docket, which I think is dumb as fuck. Because it's easy enough to be like, yo, Sparks, that video ain't working. I'll be like, aight, cool. And then I post it back on the docket. But apparently we have to do everything through the docket. So, okay. Never mind.
Apparently it's gonna all be all
we're
the
getting new
MDT
ones.
soon. Yep.
Yep.
I see it.
Oh my god, it's ready!
It looks
My
cool. I
Intel
can't wait till it's
center.
actually up.
Same.
Ooh, blue. I can make labs cards
I don't
now.
know how to phrase this otherwise. I like face-to-face human interaction rather than, you know what I mean?
Yep. I agree. Oh my god, my Bitcoin! Wait.
Thank you for the sushi.
I need to find fucking power supplies found in raid for this.
Oh yeah. You need like 5 power supplies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because then you need to upgrade your generator to 3 as well.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I almost turned it in. Wait, I'm not gonna do this soon enough.
Hey. Hey, Tony, you with us?
Barely.
All right.
It was Tony the one that's Bailey on this 3 AM for me and Bailey.
Oh, I got other shit to worry about.
Just I was talking to them and they were talking about the.
We're here for the pre-trial hearing of the people versus Bobby Charles. There are a few motions that need to be gone over. So let's not delay any further. Let's go. First motion. All the motions are coming from the defense, correct? I don't believe there's any prosecution motions apart from the motion to produce. Was it the motion to produce? Tony, do you have any objections to producing the babysitting records of Bobby Charles?
Was this in regards to weapons license purchase?
No, it's in regards to you, Bobby, babysitting Bobby, as you claim in your.
I guess rebuttal is it's. I mean, we all know it's a meme, the joke.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Sure.
I don't think I was done, but go ahead.
I don't think it was dumb. Oh, you weren't done? Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Go on, Tony.
Oh.
Nice.
I mean, Bobby's a dumb fuck. We all know he's a dumb fuck. In court, he's always getting babysat. It's not my first time defending Bobby. I mean, look at his contempt of court charges too. Like, come on, it's kind of like, hey, the sky is blue type of deal, you know?
How is this a defense?
The court is inclined to agree. Prosecution, is that satisfactory?
The people want the diaper records, the router records of what Cribby uses, Your Honor, but I understand. It's fine. We drop our motion.
All right, so
wait, I'm confused.
Let's get into the real motions.
Wait, what was the motion?
Are we going with suppression of evidence first, or are we going for PC?
Is that PC regarding the corruption you're on about?
I believe this, part of why this was granted was to heal PC. So, if there's any charges you think don't have PC, then sure, we'll hear it.
I believe the one our client made about so far is when it comes to the count of corruption.
I haven't actually read into this.
So far. Just based on further review.
Okay, Spots, can you just articulate your PC corruption, please?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, the current, while suspended, Sergeant Bobby Charles is a sworn peace officer at the state of San Andreas within the Los Santos Police Department.
Chat, what was the first motion?
As is written in his oath and in his SOPs, he is to uphold a certain level of dignity as well as ethical and moral constraints concerning on and off-duty behavior. The allegations presented against Sergeant Bobby Charles are heavy. Includes evidence tampering, Your Honor. And I have reports and stuff that I can highlight if you would like me to do so, but I'm not going to unless you ask me to, because I don't want to presume that you don't know how to read reports. I just haven't been in your courtroom before, so it's more of just standard court practice for whatever you request. I'm ready either way. So that being said, Bobby Charles, according to the statements, numerous interviews and interrogations, including that of numerous victims, have him as well as a captain of the LSPD bringing a fellow peace officer to an area using a private firearm and the allegations include attempting to cover it up with evidence tampering. We feel as though that fits the letter and primarily the spirit of the idea of corruption concerning a peace officer. He doesn't get to just drop his badge when he goes off duty. That is the nature of being in LSPD and BCSO, and he knows that going in. It's highlighted so many times. And so that is the probable cause for our charge. It's an overarching charge based on his behavior for being a sergeant, a command member of the LSPD.
Okay, defense, do you have any response to that?
I'll take the basic
inaccuracies of law.
I mean, Bailey, I guess I'll open it up with the fact that the corruption states that abusing their own position of power to, any for personal gain and so on and so forth, whatever is listed in the charges. The point of the charges, it states that knowingly abuses their position of authority for personal gain, blah 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 blah. At this time, I mean, other people have to say that they're not acting as this, they're acting as this when posting on dockets and other stuff, so on and so forth. In this scenario, I mean, Bobby Charles was off duty. He didn't use police equipment or any sort of police issued equipment to perform what he's alleged of performing. And not only that, too, there's really no evidence how he uses his position of power or his position in general to be alleged of any crime or any sort of cover up of any sorts. If they're talking about a civilian firearm, I mean, that's completely separate from anything else, especially since
and that record was produced as well.
We do recognize that.
And we dropped that charge, Your Honor, just to be clear.
Yep. Okay. This isn't the most helpful thing. So here's my thoughts, right? The charge of corruption. You've got corruption with a capital C, that's the charge, and then you've got corruption with a small c, and that's the type of corruption people talk about in this city, right? As the way it's written, it does say knowingly abuses their position of authority for so. My belief and sort of definition of corruption even before this charge came in was someone who uses the position they're in a unlawful way, or it basically was this. It's my interpretation that just because you are a government official and you do bad things, that does not mean you are guilty of, does not mean you have committed the crime of corruption. You may be a corrupt person, like morally, ethically. Are you legally corrupt? I don't believe so. No, that's not so. If probable cause has been presented to fit that sort of definition, and you want to point me to that spot, well, he has specifically used his position as an officer and isn't just an officer that did bad things. I'm willing to hear it. But right now I am sort of leaning on the side of, unless I see a, did he, clean up evidence using a police flashlight? Did he,
I see what you mean, Your Honor. No, we were primarily leaning on
were
the
people coerced under the guise of him being a sergeant? Did he, did he secure something that he would not otherwise have secured if he were not just off-duty Bobby Charles without a police job? Is the way I'm looking at it.
We will drop the charge of corruption at this time, Your Honor, if allowed.
All right. Okay. Then the evidence. Which piece of evidence is in question here, defense?
So I'm just looking through the motions. Give me a moment. There's also a motion to dismiss conspiracy as well.
Okay, I'll
I don't know if we want. Yeah, I don't know if we want to.
Probable cause, or is it a different argument?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if we want to stay on the topic of just going through the PC stuff first before we go into a tangent.
No, she's right. I mean, dropping it makes sense.
Let's keep it all in one.
Bobby's case wasn't. I don't think leans heavily on corruption.
PC, then I will heal the PC for conspiracy.
It's that your position is used for something that you could not otherwise get.
That is their request.
Is that your reason to dismiss conspiracy, defense?
Yeah, the reason to lack conspiracy is essentially, I'll read verbatim as what Bobby put here, because he kind of put it actually quite elegantly. The conspiracy requires an agreement from parties to commit a crime. The defendant is getting charged with the attempted second-degree murder and accomplice to second-degree murder.
He doesn't have to indicate it.
Intent and action. The accomplice refers to knowing and sharing intent with a separate party. Based on the evidence shared by SSM, the conspiracy is no more than the crime itself being committed. The SSM have failed to reach the burden of proof needed to meet conspiracy. This is malice, duplication of charges.
All right, Sparks, I'll hear your response, and part of that will be your articulation of PC for conspiracy.
Yeah, so the phrase of conspiracy and a collaboration agreement between two or more individuals that enact the process of the crime is done verbal, blah, blah, blah. They arrived together with Peach. Allegedly, they entered the mine with Peach. According to the video,
I got a black card and a sand tape!
Yes, they performed the crime, but the conspiracy is the hanger charge at the very beginning that builds up to that crime. Conspiracy is vaguely worded and has been vaguely worded since its establishment within the state of San Andreas, and has been a hanger charge concerning every single crime. If you and I, Your Honor, go into a bar and say, hey, let's go rob that store, and we go and rob that store, conspiracy still applies. Unless for some reason the murder charges and everything, as far as the ruling or consideration of the court, which has not been typical precedent, at least established prior, conspiracy is sometimes implied with charges, but in and of itself is a charge. We're not too worried about this one, Your Honor. It's not the biggest of deals. All the conspiracy is stated very clearly within text message statements, etc. But in and of itself is not a stacking charge, so to speak. It is a hanging charge.
Okay. Just to sort of speed this up, so I'm not going through all the reports before we get to trial. Is the conspiracy between Bobby and Carmine? Are those the two individuals?
Yes, sir.
Or
that
is
would be
Peach also being included as a.
Considering she's a victim, no, sir. She's not considered part of that.
And
if there's room to rebuttal, Your Honor, I've got a little more to add if that's possible.
After I've asked my questions, and the crime they're conspiring to commit is. Don't take my tone as one of saying it's not there.
I don't necessarily fully agree Because I was
Are you
there when
asking-
conspiracy was
Are
put
you
together.
The crime they're conspiring to commit is.
I would
attempted
argue,
murder.
and this is, the argument should be made at some
and
point.
then technically robbery
that,
is per the video, considering that they take the jewels.
Doing an action
but
of
we don't have that
illegality
charge
while
because we went-
being
I
having the
did not believe we
influence
had enough
does make a
probable cause for
difference.
the
It's
jewels.
whether or not you have
But
the
private
evidence for it,
discussions,
though.
Text message, all that is conspiring up to the lead up to commit the crime.
Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
This case doesn't hinge on
Defense of who you
on
I just
this-
want to ask just a question for you, Spark.
this particular case
where is this
doesn't really
text message? I'm
deal
just looking
with.
for evidence. I'm struggling to see this text message you're referencing.
There should be, Your Honor, there should be a subpoena in the reference. If not, it's in one of the sub reports in the reports. Specifically, you should be looking, Your Honor, the defense should be looking into incident 21640. And then
Do you mind if we go
obviously-
from your peoples, as in peoples E, F, G, etc.?
Your Honor, is that the preference of the court? Is that I list everything in it's separate? Because as
it's just for ease of looking at it on the docket. The 21640 is the people's G.
understood. And so for future reference, through my experience and training, we typically just do one report unless it's separate. And then all of our reports, sub-reports, evidence, etc. is in that report. Is that something that the court does not favor? Would you prefer me to list everything as separate evidence?
If it is a separate report, yes.
Not
I'm
to sound...
looking... Yeah, I'm looking for the text. Because I seen that there was a subpoena submitted. You submitted the signed subpoena, but are the results currently in evidence?
I can't find. I don't see any results.
attached. Yeah. I don't see any attached reports.
Yeah, when things get exported, the referenced in and the references.
Yes, sir.
Go away.
Yeah, we added as separate evidence. Bear with me. That should be the whole subpoena is 37912, which is Carmine's phone subpoena, which there are text messages between him and Bobby there.
That's why I believe initially put in the corruption charge. If you're doing a crime while law enforcement, it should be heftier, because by the inherent nature of you being a cop doing a crime,
shows evidence,
you have inherent power
in terms of text messages or anything.
For pre and post facto.
Probable cause of the conspiracy. To me, that exists with,
especially in San Andreas,
text messages. The case of the missing text messages. That's something to be resolved later.
Unless you're Donald Trump.
The whole collaborative effort to go to the mines. These sort of the narrative.
It kind of makes sense too.
Between Bobby and Carmine, I'm trying to find a reasonable other option of why they went to the mines. Given they have chosen to plead the fifth, I have no other alternative at the moment.
The only thing I asked you on is there any proof to show that right now, because there isn't any submitted, that in the verbiage of the charge it does say this is done via verbal, written, or electronic communication.
It should be also in Peach G's statement, Your Honor, in the primary People's G, where she states that they all met together to go hang out. There's not a chance in this world, if we go off the reasonable person standard, that those two did not suddenly conspire to pick her up and then take her to the mines and allegedly do those actions.
Yeah, let me just review. Well, I was looking we got a lunch date. We were hanging out as pals as we usually do. We had to go pick up Bill and stuff.
He's good. And she right.
I will also...
She right about that.
I will just upload the subpoena results as a separate item for
She right about that.
So that it's easier to reference for everyone going forward.
Yeah, like I said, the PC for the conspiracy, to me, that's there with Peach's statement. So the charge of conspiracy will stand in terms of probable cause.
Can I Actually, wait. Can I have like a couple seconds before I say something? I just want to confer with my co-counsel real quick.
Is it about the PC
Yeah,
for
yeah.
conspiracy?
Yeah,
I mean, you can. It's not going to change my mind, I don't think.
Well, it's a big one, but it's let me do a thing real quick.
It is attached as a reference. Okay, I will upload it now, Your Honor, as a separate piece of evidence.
Your Honor, may I stand over here?
can
I don't want to unintentionally hear what they're saying.
Yeah,
So like,
that's
Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Your Honor, I gotta ask, like, now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Now, we established that the conspiracies for the attached charges of attempted second-degree murder, right? So it doesn't really make sense if all they have PC of second degree. How could they inspired for a heat of passion type of crime?
That's an argument.
That's what I told Ruth.
It's malice aforethought, right? Or am I reading that wrong? Let me know, because English is my second language.
But you know, you were kind of right that made me reconsider. That is a good point, but I can also see what I don't want to make the process argument for them. You have a response to that one, Spox?
Yeah. So currently there's no full probable well, let me rephrase. We're pressing the charges more on beyond a reasonable doubt at this point concerning the attempted murder. I do vehemently think that there is enough probable cause for first-degree murder. That being said, without having a full interrogation, or questioning, which we haven't done, there's no way to fully intend. Sorry, there's no way there's an implication concerning their actions, but there's no true way beyond a reasonable doubt to determine that was a
Match found.
malice aforethought, there was intention. I operate on the idea of if I were to pull my gun and I were to aim my gun and I were to fire my gun, that is enough for me for a probable cause of not beyond a reasonable doubt for first-degree attempted murder or first-degree murder. However, the way this court has ruled in the past, despite whatever that particular action would be, we're going off of precedent, not case law, but previous precedent and rulings. So yes, while there's very clear, like, they conspire to do something, they go here and then they stab and shoot somebody, and even in the video, I mean, that's public knowledge at this point, they say stab Peach. I do not have the confidence in the court system to understand that is first-degree murder, Your Honor. So we have second-degree murder because of the nature of the conversation prior. I can do alternative charging and do attempted first degree and attempted second degree. I'm happy to do that. I love alternative charging.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Give me a second.
Of course, Your Honor.
So do I. I want to see more of that, to be honest. It makes sense.
Fun.
It
really
makes sense
fun.
too. Yep. Used to do it all the time.
And it's actually done significantly. Like it is very common outside of San Andreas. Like like in Liberty and Vice and Georgia and Chicago.
But you have to, because you don't,
when
testimony hasn't been produced. Yeah.
Correct. Yep. When it's on the line, you do alternative charging, and you press on the charge that's there, and then if that's thrown away for PC, you press the other charge.
Mm-hmm.
But Ruth was not confident at all based on previous rulings of what first-degree murder is.
Oh, yeah.
So we went with second degree.
I definitely think in future we bring back the alternative charging. It just makes sense because
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yeah, did you see the charges for Pred?
Raid starting.
I'm gonna be honest, not yet. No. I saw the posting, but I didn't.
Your voice, I don't want to hear what you're saying.
Oh, sorry about that.
But, you good.
I'm just telling him I did alternative charging for the People v. Kyle Pred. It's the first charge.
I'm just letting Knight know, He gave me the respect, giving him the respect back.
Yep.
Okay. Here's what I said on it. PC for conspiracy will stand. Here's why. I understand your point.
No,
Tony, if they're saying
I loaded in the wrong place.
Then why are they only charging him with a heat of passion?
It's a really shitty charge.
Someone can conspire to commit something, but then plans change.
There it is. Correct.
And the heat of passion happens, and what you conspired to do becomes something else. For PC, I'd say there is enough there.
Only thing I'd have to say.
I trust that you.
Yeah,
yes. I trust that you guys know how to defend it.
Yeah, all right, fine. All right, I'm gonna look through Bobby Charles' word splatter. Give me a second.
Yeah, we don't know what we don't have any preparation for any evidence for suppression, Your Honor, because there was nothing stated for that. So we might need to just hold for 5 seconds, whatever evidence they want suppressed. Just so I can review it. Because I'm assuming that you guys use suppression like a strike, where it's like you're just getting rid of it.
I think that's what Bobby was going for. He said he requested an oral hearing for suppression.
Right.
Given that, you know, I sort of made it clear that Bobby couldn't be here for this, even though he wanted to, would have hoped he would have communicated what that meant in the days that you guys have been his counsel. So, that's not to say I won't entertain motions in the future, but, you know, the whole reason this was called in the first place was for this evidence suppression. So.
I'm so glad my MTT is working.
Yeah, no, we know that. We know about the throwaway gun thing.
Wonder what the first case on the docket, MDT docket, will be.
Me suing Tony.
I need to sue Finley Milton.
Yeah, that doesn't go well. Suing ADMC doesn't go well for people as teams. We can't talk about that.
I'm not allowed.
Well, that's a whole nother fucking topic. Urgh. Times are changing, though, finally.
It's right here.
Don't worry, Shang, I got you.
Can we just have a motion as well for hearing a PC of evidence tampering?
Y'all removed all my...
That's what I thought as well.
Did we cover evidence tampering? I'm cooked. You know,
we
didn't.
Didn't cover most of the charges. You know. Okay. Okay. Here's a question.
We're fucking cooked up.
This?
We're doing this last second.
You know, talk of suppression.
They don't got to do all the cases. Every single fucking case.
Or are we?
I think they're just
purely became a PC hearing.
Docket. All right. Docket posting for which
100%,
because I'm struggling to see that bit.
Which I do think there should be a standard for it, because otherwise it can be a waste of time. Imagine me coming over.
I mean, this is a waste of time.
Docket post number 6 by Bobby. He mentioned suppression. I don't know if he meant at the end of his gun. Evidence. I would have hoped evidence and not the end of his gun.
A fucking ball gag. Where's Springfield?
You know, it's Bobby.
We'll write that one formally out on the docket, I think, for the suppression one. Because,
wonderful. Okay.
That works for everyone involved, because otherwise I'm just going to allude to what he's trying to suppress here.
Okay. I guess we'll use the table we're going to use for that to hear the PC for evidence tampering. I think I can already see where it's coming from, but I will hear it from the prosecution.
Perfect. Yeah, he bought a gun that day. That gun, there was a private gun, an M1911 that was used on scene. Projectiles and casings were collected. Less than an hour later, that gun was found in the river. Only DNA and fingerprints that were found on that gun was Bobby Charles. He did not, we have no way, there's no 911 call, as far as our records can tell. There's no report of any missing gun, as far as we can tell. And we have numerous statements leading Bobby Charles on scene, including a video of him on scene. He threw the gun away, Your Honor. He tried to cover up the evidence.
Was this gun used to commit a crime? Allegedly?
The casings and projectiles are on top of Bill Mays. Well, basically on top of him. It's not like they piled it, but you know what I mean. They're surrounding his injured body, according to the police that arrived on scene.
I mean, yeah, you know, weapon is evidence.
The only note I've really got is, if we want to get into the technical of it, right? Verbiage of the charge shows, with the purpose of hiding the truth or making an item unavailable for an ongoing investigation or judicial proceeding. You can also tell me to fuck off on this one. Is there any proof
I guess
that
I could have
he was
charged him
hiding it
littering.
for an ongoing investigation? Was the investigation ongoing at the time of him hiding that weapon, or was there a judicial proceeding?
I'll tell you to politely fuck off by saying this.
All right, yeah, fine, Judge.
He's a sergeant within the LSPD. It's claimed he shot someone. He knows that inherently, then by the moment you discharge a gun at someone, that becomes an ongoing investigation if the police respond. You shouldn't assume that the police don't respond, because even if the police don't respond in the moment, they could respond later and find the evidence. Once you shoot your gun, it becomes evidence of something. Whether that's a crime, whether that's self-defense,
It's still
whatever.
a crime, but it's an affirmative defense.
So if his gun was then found discarded with only his DNA on it, I'd say it's more likely than not that he got rid of the gun and getting rid of the gun makes it unavailable for the ongoing investigation. Like I said, I'm not making a determinant on his guilt or innocence. It's just probable cause. Is it more likely than not that Bobby did that? Yes.
But what if his DNA was
Got one
planted?
response. God loves a trier.
That it does. All right. So
I miss her. I should text.
That's how some of us were born.
The charge of not conspiracy, corruption is dropped, dismissed. Before you want to slice it, conspiracy against tampering still stand, and the suppression will be done at a later date.
So, Your Honor, I have one question concerning the corruption charge, if I may.
Yes. Yes.
So we are still awaiting information per the roads rule from BCSO and LSPD concerning updated reports, notes, and notions, and subpoenas. Are we able to request, if for some reason there's further evidence that we believe leads to a corruption charge from that evidence, are we able to add it at that time and point to the evidence as to why?
If part of discovery more probable cause arises, I will hear an argument to add charges or amend. It doesn't mean it will be automatically granted. It's just with any motion.
This is why Faulkner's a good one.
I will hear the
Faulkner's rulings are so baked in logic.
That's what I presumed. Just confirming.
You put logical input in. He puts logical input, or he has logical output, which is still to this day why I think he is quite literally one of the best. It just makes sense. It's like no bullshit. It like these are the reasons. This is the law. All right, awesome. Hell yeah. All right.
I read a wall of text.
Just got Hold on.
Oh,
Angela, you're not tasing yourself in here, are you?
No, I don't have a taser.
Oh, just.
Oh no.
5, 10 minutes. Come on.
No, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not going to actually.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No. Oh man. Oh fuck.
That makes sense with the corruption thing, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Did the whole my explanation of corruption make sense?
I agree and disagree, though. I'm gonna have a conversation afterwards with Sparks on it. My general interpretation as someone that actually worked with the writing of it with the previous mayor is by virtue of whom you are, you have a natural disposition. So law enforcement through their mere presence can elicit a detainment colloquially in US jurisprudence, right? Because if I show up and I say I don't know you, and I say, hello sir, how are you doing? This can, by virtue of my vest and me being law enforcement, can be considered a detainment. I'm not saying it is a detainment, but it can be inferred as a detainment. Which is why even when I do training with law enforcement, if there isn't clear consensuality in the conversation, it can be seen that the individual could have reasonably believed that they're detained. Not clear cut. It's great, which is why the training is you should say, hey, Mr. Mr. Red, you are detained at this time. I have some questions for you, right? So there is a clear, you are being detained. There is no confusion, etc. Now, the reason I use that as an example is in the charge corruption, and I do think this is something worthwhile exploring, is every person commits corruption who, while servicing as a public official or government employee, knowingly abuses their position of authority for personal gain, political influence in the commission of a crime, etc., etc. I would argue that even, you know, as a known, if you, Mr. Red, know me to be law enforcement, by that simple thing, the question becomes, are the actions I'm doing more afforded? And is there an inherent fear of retaliation due to whom I am as a person, right? What my occupation is and my authority. And it's kind of like if the president of the United States did some crazy shit, right? Not saying he did, you know, but, you know, let's see, he did some crazy shit. There might be some people that are like, I ain't going to do anything about that because this motherfucker going to delete me, you know? You know, so...
I get that angle.
So a lot of those,
I think that was presented here, but I do understand that angle.
And so, like, it's in the same vein of, like, let's say, and it's a lot clearer, I think, with someone like a mayoral position, right? Or even your position, right, Faulkner? By your nature of giving any opinion that might be legal, and we see this day to day, is someone will be like, a judge told me this thing, and therefore it's that thing, and I try to tell them, like, you know, they're judges, they're humans, right? This is their occupation, but even their word, just as my word, is not infallible, right? We have an opinion based on an interpretation of the law. So if a vaguely named judge said, you know, a gun is this thing, right? Like, this situation is probably this thing. It's a off the cuffs comment with no context. And therefore you should not simply operate just on that. But, you know, and the reason for that is by you saying it because of your position, there's a level of authority that comes with that commanding, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like we tell it to every magistrate we bring on, you know.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to you and asks you something and you're not sure, just tell them that, because they'll take your word as gospel and run with it. So if you're not sure, you know, just tell them that and tell them you'll get back to them. Like, I think for corruption, and an example that came out like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something, was Cassandra Cage. Norman submitted a subpoena, and was like, she's suspected of corruption because she did a street race and shot cops. And while, like I said, that makes her a corrupt person, morally, ethically, whatever, like, just because she was a judge and did a street race and shot cops doesn't mean she committed corruption. We've since done.
I would agree with that, because the encompass of what they did, would someone reasonably have knowledge of her identity at the time of it? But if someone reasonably know their identity and their position over someone that does not have the same position, what is that? And I'm not going to make any weird commentary of what I'm about to say, but this is not meant to be more than what I'm about to say. Is like, there's a reason why if you are a boss to people in a office, there are certain ethical guidelines that exist because you have power over them.
Power done it,
Yes, exactly. In and outside of work, right? Like, so now I will say though that due to the way it's written, there is like room for a lot of interpretation. And this, in my opinion, is one of the challenges between how do you reduce the lengthiness of legislation while still maintaining the nuance of the intent behind the words, right? And I think that's a hard balance, right? And, you know, so
simplification leads to gray areas, leads to more arguments, but can also lead to more bad faith actors taking the interpretation that suits them and not necessarily the one that could or should fit.
And I do agree there's like the small c and the big C. It's like Like, for me, it's kind of like a, how would I put this? If the actor that is doing the action, right? Someone is committing some action, criminality-wise. If that person was replaced by a non-government entity or like, for example, would that have any positive or negative influence in their ability to commit the crime? Right?
Yeah.
So if you were to replace this actor of, someone who's like, let's use a mayor example, that if this person wasn't a mayor in that situation, would there have been any influence at all? And I think the level of influence is the amount of corruption. But
They'll have a good
Yeah, I
night.
get you.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a good debate. So even for myself, that's how I currently think of it. But I wouldn't say I have like a conclusive stance on it either.
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe we need first, second, and third degree corruption.
Maybe. I mean, I also came up with an idea run by Angel earlier. It's kind of, how you've got your sort of, I don't know if you actually implement it, but the whole like cinema level for your warrants and stuff. I thought of like making that part of like the penal code in a sense, where, like, for example, I think the best example for this is embezzlement, right? It's a 50-month, $25,000 fine. I mean, also in the fine is however much you embezzled. But like, the range of embezzlement is so vast that no one punishment is ever going to fit it. And I think if someone were to put in the effort to embezzle $20 million, with all this sort of whatever,
the punitive, the punitive, there's how much is recovered, but the punitive fine doesn't scale.
I think that person's federal lawyers should be able to, be reasonable and agree. Maybe they could go in for years for this if the federal lawyers agree.
Yeah. Man, I have so many thoughts on this topic. I think that when the laws were initially put in, they were obviously inherited but there are some laws that, let's say, we're taking, like, I have some knowledge of the historicity. Like, for example, there was the Rust Act, which actually came from Ray Romanoff's old gang, because I kept blowing up Rooster's Rest, and I kept telling him, stop doing that shit, dumb fuck, because you keep targeting civilians. And so we called it the Rust Act, which was kind of like serial assaults and killings, but it was more about targeting particular individuals
and violence charges.
Yeah. So the word got the title got changed, and we named it after his gang. And so the title got changed and the wording changed. But what was lost in history was the application of it, because the Rust Act actually came with more than just what's in the penal code. Like, there was more alignment with, because it was tied to a precedent at the time.
Oh, so, Jesus Christ. 5 lifeless escaped from prison.
Oh, yeah, I was there. It was clowns, and one of them is Matthew Colby. So
2 have been captured, 3 remain at large. Okay, we're going to need details on that so we can make people aware. So if they do, they're harboring a fugitive.
Have you received the details yet?
I just got pinged about it from Ruby.
Okay. Yeah, there's I think it'd be really cool. I like the first, second, and third degree, but there's also I talked about this like a while ago, or hopefully I did and it wasn't someone else. Certain charges, I think having a scaling weight kind of makes sense, but I think the presentation today of the penal code makes that a little bit difficult, right? So
yeah, this got brought up with Michael when he was the mayor.
Yeah,
like saying having like attempted murder government employee.
Oh, enhancement charges. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Like when Michael spoke to me about it, it was like, you know, could we have in the MDT like attempted murder government employee 6,000 to 10,000, like a range. Unfortunately, the NDT can't display that. It cannot it will only accept a numerical input in that field, but also the standards then by which the PD apply it, you know, because that can work when it comes to the judiciary, but not if 95% of cases see the cells and that's it. So the standard could be vastly different.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's kind of why, I mean, look, the enemy of the state thing, right? Why I initially was like, let's have it for everyone. And then a week later, I'm like, this should only be marshals. Because
available.
Because there are certain things that are meant for cinema and for simplifying the theatrics, right? And, you know, even today, you know, with you know, there are certain things in movement. If someone gets enemy of the state, it's kind of like, listen, dog, do you think you're working one of these motherfuckers or not? And that's it. And that's a alternative to, hey, man, let's wait a week, 2 weeks while we build an entire terrorism case where terrorism just has way too much. I mean, terrorism is a great example, right? It is easy to do terrorism in a place like San Andreas, but there's also levels of terrorism that is significantly worse, like blowing up the courthouse versus a one-day explosive bomb, right? And especially in a place where people may say this is politically motivated, right? It's just I don't know. Anyways,
that is a thing. You know, I joke all the time, like, when are we going to get a religiously motivated terrorism? You know,
we've had that.
Not that I've seen. It's been a while, I guess.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, who knows? Maybe well, hypothetically, if the Epsilon people blew something up, would it be terrorism? We would first have to figure out whether they're a religion. Yeah. You know?
Well, you know, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck.
Wait, now I remember. Okay, this is going to sound really crazy. Wasn't there 2 years ago officially established religions in San Andreas, but there's only 1 or 2? Was that 3 years ago, or was it many more than that? I think it might have been under Max.
I think I've seen like the deprecated legislation of that. Yeah, like you could register to be a religious, like not a pastor is probably the wrong thing, but you could be like
the Mormons. Yes, there was. Back in the day, there were the Mormons. And you know, it was a charity, and in order to yes, it was actually 3 years ago. You could make a charity, but you needed a religion. I don't know. Anyways, lots changed.
Yeah, have you seen the MDT docket?
I have. I've seen. You know, I've seen some of the
the test stuff.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be nice.
Yeah, I was basically doing QA all of yesterday.
I have spoken. I did nudge that there might be things. I would love a subpoena version of this that then also goes into the inbox of the person, because that entire thing is cumbersome. I'm not, you know, listen, the fact that we have this, I'm happy, but
yeah, I was surprised that this existed because I remember seeing the discussion about this, like the IT guy asking Crane about this. So like, and I thought it was just, you know, it was something that was started then put on the back burner and wouldn't see it for 5 years. But you know, it's here now, so
yeah,
it's close to being publicly available.
Hell yeah. Well, all right, brother. I'm gonna go get some rest, and you have a good night.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put a state announcement about these live posts, and then I'm going to bed as well.
You mind helping me with the door there?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. What's this text?